Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I am the wife, comedian Blair Postman. Yay!
Hey, Blair.
I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert, Gary Hames. Woo! Also on board is our Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian and pet nurse, Drew Harrison.
He is hot.
He is. And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Drew is so hot.
Oh my God!
Oh,
To never
you guys.
miss our weekly episodes and extras, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fan Wife, and support the podcast by liking and rating us on iTunes. Miss any of that? Then just go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Gary,
Yes.
tell us about this week's sponsor.
Yes, I will, Blair. This week's sponsor, once again, is Podhive. Podhive.com matches small to mid-sized podcasts and advertisers. Podcast gets matched with advertisers who might otherwise miss them. Advertisers get heard by listeners of cool podcasts who would be their perfect niche customers. It's like an audio sponsorship love connection. Sign up for podcasts is free and non-exclusive. Go to podhive.com for more information. Yes, folks, you heard me right. That's podhive.com.
All right. Wow, we finished that up early. We're gonna have to give you the ad copy like a few minutes before the thing.
I think that adds to my charm. Hang on. This is how charming I am. I'm this charming.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, upcoming guests this week, comedian Sam Talent. Woo! Originally out of the Denver scene. In episode 98 next week, Aparna Nanjala. Episode 99, Melissa Dowdy. Yay! And episode 11, comedian and co-host of Whiskey and Cigarettes podcast, Zach Moss, is going to join us for our 100th episode. Yay!
I thought you said episode 11 for a second.
No, 100.
Oh.
Did I?
I think you said episode 11 and then you went back and said 100.
I wasn't
Very
paying any
fast.
attention to
That's not new. All right, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Swell.
Did we start already?
Yes, we already started. Drew, what's the matter, kid?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Panthers won today. I'm in a good mood. I think.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's unusual.
That's what my problem is. I got nothing to be mad about.
I'm going to find something.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find
Did he
something
say-
within this podcast to get angry about eventually.
Did he say I'm in a good mood, I think?
No, I don't know.
I
think he
said I'm in a good mood from once.
I thought
For
you
once.
said I'm in a good mood, episode 11.
11. Yeah, also.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it just reminded me of Emo Phillips for a minute, who used to say, I'm a good lover, I bet.
Oh.
Is that what you took away from my comment?
Well, that's just what it reminded me.
Gary has about 100 phrases floating around in his head, and he's just waiting for a time to use
I was
them.
very disappointed that I missed my Emo Phillips God references last week. Remember we were looking for Jesus jokes or whatever it was?
Right.
Nah, were we?
And Emo Phillips was sitting at a table with,
No,
with
but-
God, and Jesus came in, but he didn't shut the door, and Emo was like, well, were you born in a barn? So
yeah,
I could have used
okay.
that one,
See,
and I totally didn't come up with it in time.
And it took us till episode 97 to use both
That
those
was-
emo references.
That was just last week.
And
it's not
what-
that long.
No, but I'm just saying, you've probably been thinking about that since we started the podcast.
That entire album is just in my mind all the time.
Yes, I know.
Every joke I ever tell comes from that album.
I know. That's why I'm saying what I said.
Gary loves Emo Phillips.
I do.
Loves emo Phillips like you.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
Like it's
That's
a
awesome to know. I didn't know that.
it's a thing. But yes, Gary super loves emo Phillips and can quote him.
What do you mean it's a thing?
I do not. I appreciate emo Phillips, but I
Right.
do not love emo.
He's my favorite
Phillips.
comedian.
And he's Gary's favorite comedian.
His album, he may have more than one, I don't know, but the album that I listened to came out in 1988, and I played nothing in my car for 2 years but that album.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go,
And
guys.
I was taking long cross-country drives at that point in my life, too. So.
That's a little slice of my heaven that I a lot of
Did you
emo
catch him?
Philip jokes.
Have you caught him live?
Well, we actually
Oh,
had
yeah.
a 2-hour
Please.
dinner with him one time.
Yeah, we did.
I always like it whenever Gary might say something wrong and Blair's like, "Oh,
She
please,
tries.
I
just don't tell him everything."
Yes, we did have a
You
2-hour
pulled this curtain back. Just so you know.
I don't
It's
think
like-
I did.
it's like
I don't think I did.
It's
this
like on
podcast.
it's
you
like on
pulled the curtain back.
Oh,
You
shit.
It's like on Family Guy.
All right, guys, we'll podcast over.
It's like on Family Guy when they had the bird and Brian was about to say
Yes.
something, so he's like, "What?" And he launches into
No, Brian,
That's
don't.
like you. Right, exactly.
Brian, no.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere at EMO's house right now, the bird is playing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just one more emo Phillips.
I thought you might. Yes.
Yes.
So you said you had a 2-hour dinner with him once.
Yes.
Yes.
Where did you go eat?
A 10-pen.
10-pen, yes. That's
With
right.
the now.
Is that a bowling
A
alley?
fancy
No.
Asian restaurant in downtown D.C.
Okay.
Yes.
He had foie gras.
What is that?
It's a goose liver.
Oh.
It's expensive goose
Yeah.
liver.
And he said
very
it was the best
expensive
foie gras he ever had.
and-
We had an exquisite
and-
dinner.
and
I had
rather-
the tea-smoked duck.
Rather.
You like duck?
I like tea-smoked duck at 10-pen. That's for sure.
So what? Did you just go out on a limb? You're like, I don't like duck, but maybe I like this duck.
Well, I just really like this restaurant, and that we read the reviews, and that was supposed to be like one of their best dishes.
Oh,
so
okay.
I had it.
So, okay.
And
Blair,
Oh,
what-
please. I mean, there's
Blair,
got
what
to
did you have?
a nervous breakdown.
Oh, okay. You didn't try the tea
Well,
smoked duck?
some people order really expensive sake. Okay.
yeah.
So, anyway.
So you got drunk?
Yes.
Did I?
She-
No.
Blair, he's not her favorite comedian. And in real life, he's not the greatest, maybe.
We're still liable for slander laws. We're not gonna say anymore.
You know what I'm saying.
I got you.
I love that Blair's not only the host, but also the on-air attorney. for the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's a challenging two hats to wear, but I do my best.
Hey, listen, I love the guy. I was saying that
I
for
know
you.
you do. Look, okay, hey, speaking of awkward things we need to go back and talk about, we're going to do some fact-checking, guys.
Fact
Okay.
checking.
Yeah, fact-checking. And we've already somehow burned through an enormous amount of time. How do we do that? Oh, we talked about emo jokes for 8.5 minutes.
Yes, well.
So we're doing something a little different with the fact-checking
I have a
this
fact
week.
check real quick for this episode. We're only 7 minutes in. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
just let you know.
Okay, sorry.
It just seems like it's a lot longer.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, because we're talking about emo.
Okay, anyway, moving forward.
Oh, have you not heard? It was my understanding that everyone
Everyone had heard.
Heard what? Brian, don't!
That's the greatest episode
It
ever.
is. It is actually. That's
The
one
only one better
That's
than that
something we
in
would-
my book. That's number 2, and the best one is Stewie beating the crap out of Brian, as we
Yes.
discuss every week.
Yes.
Should we discuss it again?
No. I mean, let's see. I mean, how many of our?
Oh,
10
you've got
episodes-
money for fake mustaches, but you can't pay me back.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We're gonna have like a quota system, like in a chart, where it's like, Gary, you've talked about that particular Family Guy episode, like every podcast episode for the last 4, so you got to skip a week or something like that.
Avian variety. Oh, have you not heard? It was my understanding that everyone had heard. Heard what? Brian, don't!
Okay, guys. So, Wills Maxwell, friend of the show, Wills Maxwell, all around smart guy. He's now a local television personality, as you know. So, he had been sending me some facts that he believed needed checking from our podcast. And so I have decided to make him, at least for this episode, and see how it goes, we're going to make him the ombudsman.
He's the one
What
that
is that?
says the wrong things.
No, ombudsman, I did put in a definition here just in case, is the
can't read.
official appointed to investigate complaints against maladministration, often in public authorities or media outlets. So often you'd hear of, say, the Washington Post ombudsman.
I have a question.
So Wills Maxwell's a lot like that. What?
Are we a public authority or a media outlet?
We're a media outlet.
Okay.
And also, I like the word ombudsman.
Ombudsman.
Yeah, so we're going to call Wills and see what he thinks that we needed to fact check.
Not a lot of people know the ombudsman empire was a big part of World War One.
Right?
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, Wills Maxwell. Welcome
Mark
to
Hoffman.
the My Fantasy Wife podcast. And in your first episode as our official ombudsman.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm
You're
excited.
welcome.
Ombudsman music.
Yeah, and we've just gone ahead and defined ombudsman for everyone listening.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I was taking it as obnoxious know-it-all.
Okay.
So thank you for doing that.
That's another way to go.
I'm concerned that he has a conflict of interest because the more and checkable things he says when he's on the show, the more he'll get to reappear as the ombudsman.
Right, exactly. It's like a snake eating its own tail in a way. But I mean, and who would he complain to?
Yeah, right.
The ombudsman.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to give it a try anyway.
You guys are on to me.
We have a very limited budget and very few people who are interested enough to take the time to do this all with us every week. So, Wills, what's one of the first fact checks that you've got for us that we can either accept or deny today?
Okay, so last week, when you were referencing how frustrated you were getting with everyone for getting off topic very early on.
Wait, what?
We never do that.
That never happens.
Go on.
That one time that happened in that one episode of My Fantasy Wife.
Okay.
Were we talking about emo when it happened?
Never mind. Anyway, he wasn't.
You were saying...
What did I say?
You were saying that you feel like the lady from Gorillas in the Mist. What's her
Oh, yeah. I messed that up.
Jane Goodall, right?
Jane Goodall.
Gorillas in the Mist is Diane Fossey.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right. That's right. Goodall was chimpanzees.
I was thinking
Another
of...
member of the Trimate along with Jane Goodall.
Yes, okay. I was thinking...
Trimate.
What's a trimate?
Yeah, so I just saw this. It's they're the Trimates. It is Diane Fossey, Baruch Galdikas, and...
Wait, what was
Jane
that?
Good-
What was that middle one?
Uh,
Because I was going to say
Baruch
Gesundheit.
Galdikas.
All right.
They are the three people, the three foremost primatologists in the world.
Thank you, Wills. That
Yeah,
you,
so
I had known
Diane
in the
Fossey-
moment. I had, yeah.
I forgot about Blair's special
As played by Sigourney Weaver in the movie Gorillas in the Mist. All right,
special
that was the
hatred
first
for
thing.
chimpanzees. I'm sorry.
Would you please let Wills finish?
Even from over the phone, Gary.
I
Okay.
know. Even over the phone, Gary does it. Okay, what
another
else did I
thing
do
was-
wrong last week?
Okay, another thing was you guys had a question about fried green tomatoes. Is there actually a type of green tomatoes, or is it just unripe red tomatoes?
Right.
The answer is both. There are green
Oh.
tomatoes that are green when they are fully ripe, and also red tomatoes when they are unripe. They are green. You can use both to cook fried green tomatoes or any other recipe that calls for green tomatoes.
Oh,
Yeah, he's correct about
okay.
that.
All right. That's very useful and interesting.
Thank you for fact checking the fact
Oh,
check.
thank you. And anything else?
In your game that you played with Blair Nias,
yes.
real, fake, or chopped,
Yes.
you had the tobacco, the plant from The Simpsons, and
Yeah.
labeled it as fake because it was in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
However, because The Simpsons is just a harbinger for things that are going to happen,
Right.
in
Right.
2003, a scientist in Oregon actually grafted a tomato plant and a tobacco plant together to make a real tobacco plant.
No,
Yeah.
that's a supernatural plot. And it came back as a hybrid tomato and ate the town until Dean blew it up with a flamethrower with the help of an angel. No, I don't have to watch that one.
Man.
Yeah, that's somebody had too much time on their hands. I'm sorry about that.
So yeah, he made the actual tobacco plant. It might be poisonous though. He hasn't tried it. At least at the time this article was written in 2003, there was too much nicotine in something for it to be actually edible.
Right.
So he hadn't actually, at the time of that article, he had not actually.
Well, maybe he smoked it by now. We can check back in with it. Did you find that fact checking this episode was it was just too much? There's too much material. There was a lot to fact check.
You guys are pretty easy to fact check because anytime you say something that you're not certain about, you just go, "We might have to fact check that." That would be like you
So is this something you would?
start Googling.
I think we're gonna have to fact check that last.
I think we're gonna have
statement.
to fact check that. Well, I kind of like the idea of you taking this on, both because then I can get fact checked evenly. I won't be accused of avoiding the things that I said incorrectly, like with the trimates.
Well, I want to point out that if that statement he made about the tobacco being too nicotine-y to eat,
Yes.
that is a thing. I once ate a can of Skull, and it was definitely had too much nicotine to consume.
I
That
threw up one time because of that.
is
Well, yeah.
disgusting.
I accidentally swallowed it.
No, I ate it. I just
Oh, well, Oh, that was on you.
I used to work with a guy that would dip, and he would just swallow it the whole time.
I would never dip. That's disgusting.
There's
and then when he sweated, it smelled like dip.
Wow.
it's in his bloodstream at that point.
Yeah,
Nice.
Is that how sweat works?
Why?
something like that.
Yeah, you don't know how sweat
Strategy
works.
just that like he wanted to keep producing.
I didn't say I don't
himself.
sweat. I just don't know how it works.
Wait, what? Gary,
What?
why did you eat it? How old were you?
It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was about 17. I was at about my 27th beer, and my
I was
friend
about to
who
say,
dips turned around and said,
sounds
"Hey,
like
do you want to
he's
try
drunk."
dip for the first time?" And I grabbed it out of his hand and ate the entire
Oh
can.
my God. Everything is disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
Did
Wills.
you throw up or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Wills.
just two small notes.
Okay.
A few times jokingly, you guys used the word legitly. It's legitimately. I know it was a joke, but just in the climate of us electing someone who uses the word bigly all the time, I felt the need to call that out.
So you're going to be very strict
Who
about.
exactly said
Wow.
That was Drew, I believe.
that? I don't
Okay.
believe you.
Why you gotta
So-
call me out, man?
And
Go ahead.
and then also just a slight like note, not really much of a fact check, but Drew's NPR voice is gold, and I would not mind if that is a reoccurring
Well, thank you,
thing.
sir. I
That was
appreciate
very
that.
funny.
I liked how you led with the criticism, but then gave the compliment. Thank
Right.
you.
He did
I
the like
make those
the
open
HR
face
sandwich.
compliment sandwiches, man.
I
Yeah.
love
Yes.
it. I love it.
Nice. Well, so you're gonna just a note to us. You're gonna be pretty strict about the use of vocabulary going forward.
Just this once.
Okay.
This once. 'cause
I'm gonna
just 'cause-
need a grammar checker in the budget now.
Well, okay. Well, we can double up.
That could be
We
someone
can
else.
double. We can double Wills's budget.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
need
can
all of
call
my
you can
stories.
get Tyler Wood in and have him be in charge of grammar and just call
Okay.
him right after he called me
Good.
for fact check.
Wow, this
Good,
is
good,
going to be
good.
a fun show, guys. All right.
Oh, Tyler Wood checking my grammar. Don't miss it.
All right, Wills. Thank you very much, Mr.
right, thank you.
Ombudsman. Look forward to talking to you next week about everything we get wrong this week.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Maybe later I can write a paper on how to do an oil change.
What are you talking about?
Oh, just boring things that we could do on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Well, as long as we
That's
do
so
it
fun.
legitly, it's okay.
Right.
All right, guys. Are you ready for hot topics? We gotta call our guests in like 15 minutes.
I know.
All right. Do we have any change music?
The
Yeah.
change music, sir.
Sure.
Sir? All right. Well, that was kind of like. All right. Can we get it one more time? Because it's like a little at the end there.
All right.
No, we can't. The answer is. Okay, I like
There
the
we
drum
go.
beat into it. All right, guys, hot topics. So
Can we get that fact check?
it was Gary. You were talking. This is a little it has a fact check aura about it, but it's not a fact check.
Hear that, Wills?
You're gonna want to open up your outline there. So we were talking about NBA, and you were talking about how there are these great players, but you didn't know their names. And Joe Perot, our contributor, let us know a few of them and I looked up a few that.
That last guy is made up.
No,
Are we
he's-
playing this game where I have to guess if they're real or
No,
not?
no, they're
That's the Greek freak.
they're 100% real, and that's the one. Why don't you lead with him?
That's not the Greek freak. I've met her, and this isn't her.
This is a guy,
This
and
is the new NBA Greek freak.
I see.
okay, so
So these are foreign players. Right?
these are they're foreign-born NBA players. So, so this is somebody who seemed like
Yeah,
you would want to
Bishop.
know. Would you like to
foreign.
pronounce his name?
Which one?
You can start with whomever.
I'm supposed to pronounce that.
Yes.
I'm not from Lithuania.
Well, just try.
Jonas Valanciunas?
Valenciennes.
Do you know how to pronounce this?
No.
Well, then how are you going to correct me?
I'm not. I'm just working it out with you. I'm just
The
working.
only one I know how to pronounce is the second one, so y'all are on your own.
Okay, go. Well, Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah.
Valanciunas, maybe, is
I
originally
think it's Valencius.
Valencius.
Is he one of the Jonas brothers?
No,
Okay.
and that is Jonas here is a first name, and that references a last name.
Maybe
but I think
Google
you
will
know
spell it out
that.
for us.
You know that.
No, but
Uh,
when you get over into the Russias of the world, isn't the first name generally the last name?
No, no.
Isn't it like son of?
No, you're thinking of like Iceland.
Okay.
No, so okay, it's Jonas Valanciunas.
Jonas Venus.
And he's not one of the
Venus?
Jonas brothers.
No, he's not, and he's from Lithuania originally, and he
Okay.
works for he plays
Who's he work for?
the Raptors.
All right.
You like the Raptors,
All right,
Lewis?
are you ready?
Yeah,
Jonas Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
Okay.
Jonas Valanciunas. Okay, can you do that for all of them, Drew?
Yes.
And in Lithuania, he plays for the Raptors and works for them, I guess. And a big highlight for him, on October 26th, he scored 32 points and had 11 rebounds.
Wow.
So not only does he play for the team, he has to work for him too.
Yeah, it's
I make rebounds and I clean the floor.
Oh no. Okay, Drew, and then Kristaps Porzingis is originally from Latvia, and he plays for the Knicks.
He was a big disappointment at first because on draft night. Anyway,
Well, it wasn't a disappointment. They just didn't want him.
No, they're like, who is
The
this?
fans.
They were pissed, and
Yes.
now he's their best player.
Yes.
And well, the things that I picked up from the interweb was that earlier in November, he had a season-high 27 points, and then he beat it on November 16th. He scored 35 points.
He's also quite a rebounder.
Very good for. It seems like he's doing quite well. Is he doing quite well now,
Yes.
Drew?
You're doing really good in this country.
Yes, however,
Congratulations.
in Lithuanian Republic, basketball rebounds you.
No.
Gary also listened to that album.
Yakov Smirnoff a lot.
Right, in '86.
Yes.
Right.
There weren't that many comedy albums.
I didn't take it on the road like I took emo, but I didn't. I was aware of it.
He was aware. Nikola Josic? Nikola Jokic? Jokic?
Yes.
Jokic.
You say it again, Drew.
Nikola Zigic.
Okay, he is from Serbia, and he plays for the Denver Nuggets. And then in end of October, he had 23 points and 17 rebounds in one. And then, Gary, go ahead with that last one. That's the one that Joe Perot really wanted you to give it a go.
Who? Gianni Antetokounmpo?
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Could you do it again?
No.
All right. Fair enough.
He saved up just for that one.
Anyway, he's originally from Greece. He is with the Milwaukee Bucks. He got a triple-double, and I know what that is. That's when you get double digits in 3 different things that you can do in basketball.
Yes.
And one of the things he did was score 21 points, and then he had 10 rebounds, and then he had 10 assists.
It's fortunate that he's doing so well making all that money because he's going to need to buy a vowel.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He has all of them.
Maybe he could sell one.
He doesn't have.
You don't see that on Wheel of Fortune that often.
Anyway, Gianna is doing wonderfully well. And then on November 29th, he had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and he's averaging over 24 points a game. All right, so that's kind of what's going on. So, and I saw a lot of articles online that about half the first round class this year were foreign-born players, and they're having a fantastic impact on the league.
It's been coming for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and they're having a great impact on the league, it seems like. And
Yeah, it's going to start making actual like Olympics and stuff like that actually entertaining.
Interesting, yes.
Just a few years ago, for the first time, they had more than half the first round was foreign.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's, I think, was that the
For
first
the first
time?
time, yeah.
Okay, and they were saying this year also. All right. Anything else about the NBA before we move on?
I think it's going to be a good end of the season playoff stretch this year.
You do?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
It's just a lot of teams are like the Clippers are really good this year. Yeah, of course, Golden State. The Spurs are still hanging in there when Tim Duncan retired. Like it's gonna be the battle to who faces LeBron James and the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we can't talk about it yet, though. Much the way that baseball doesn't become interesting or relevant until Game 7 of the World Series.
Exactly.
Basketball doesn't become interesting or relevant until Christmas Day.
All right. Well, I'm going to skip some of these proposed ideas.
You pass by that as if you know it.
Well, yeah.
Were you aware of that?
Because you've told me that.
Okay. All right.
Before in like the car and stuff.
All right.
All right. Can we have a change of topic music, please?
Yes.
That was fun. Okay.
We all know what the little blue pill is for.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, guys. Heisman Trophy winner last night, Lamar Jackson of Louisville. Any surprises there?
It's a surprise to me. I didn't even watch it. That's the first I'd heard of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we're breaking news to Gary on the
breaking
podcast.
news.
He won the Heisman in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the main thing?
He had like
made
19
him...
touchdowns in one game against the Little Sisters of the Poor, and it was over.
What sucks is he fell off at the end of the year, but he still did enough at the beginning to still matter.
Okay.
The quarterback for Clemson, Deshaun Watson, I thought should have won it.
I thought it should have been Gianni Antetokounmpo.
Well, I don't think he was eligible because it's the wrong sport, and he's already
He never played college.
Hey, he's still got all his eligibility left. He's from another country. He's never been to college.
And it's
Yeah,
a
but
different
once you
sport.
turn pro,
No,
don't
it's a
you?
different
It's a different sport. All right, well, good. Well, it's good for him to know that America truly is the land of opportunity. He could go play college football if this actually fantastic basketball career doesn't
Once
work
you
out
go
for him.
professional, you can't be in
'Cause
a
Chris-
recessional.
No.
Because Chris Winkie was the quarterback for Florida State after he was already a baseball player.
Yeah.
All right. And so the anything surprising, controversial, whatever, you just like the Clemson quarterback?
I just
Drew?
thought he showed up during big games. You
Oh.
know? Clemson beat Louisville.
He showed up at all his games, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw it coming. I mean, and there's nothing
Sorry.
you can do. You can't say
No.
no, don't, because then you sound
Brian's
like
out.
because then you sound like a bitch. Drew, don't. Drew, no.
God.
Okay.
I just got called out by Gary and then got called a bitch by.
No, I'm the
Yeah.
bitch. I was talking about myself. Nobody listens. Okay.
Where's my grammar?
But now you
checker?
don't listen either, Drew. Did you hear that when she slipped in there?
Okay.
What?
All
No.
right. Hey.
Have you not heard? It was my understanding that everyone had heard.
Heard what? Brian, don't!
Right, don't. That was me. Drew, don't. In that scenario, Gary is Peter.
Yes.
I am Stewie,
And I'm Brian.
and you're Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. All right. Can we have a little change
exactly
of topic
right.
music? All right, guys. The NFL. The last week's winner of our Pick 5 League was Laura Cahoy. And so she gets her victory song, which is some song
Slow down.
which we're going to play a little bit later. And it may not be a song I like, but maybe other people will like it. So congratulations to Laura. Tell us about our Fantasy League standings and what's what, guys.
Well, I mean, since we do the 2-week playoff system, this week doesn't really matter that much.
But Conti and I are in a very close dogfight.
Well, but isn't it? It's Conti and Gary this week, and Drew. It's you,
Timmy.
and Timmy Booth.
And I'm beating Timmy Booth currently right now.
Yeah, because his team is a team of untalented overachievers.
Oh, okay, wait a second. Now, I was contacted this week secretly by Timmy Booth,
Oh, not by aliens?
who reminded. Well, are they mutually exclusive?
You used the word contact. I thought that was a tip.
Okay,
Drew
I'm going to
Brees
need you to let me get through.
Drew Brees
just
is killing
one
me
of
right
these.
You want me to let you get through insulting me?
No, I'm not insulting you.
Pulling
It's
up
just-
my mistakes from the past and throwing them
What-
in my face.
what
I'm
makes-
sorry I'm not making it easy for you.
What makes you think that we're going to do that?
Uh-huh.
Speaking of which, Mr. Bishop, do we have that? If not, I can describe it. But do you think we have that available to us?
We do.
We do. Can we?
In 5, 4,
Wow.
3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Bound to take over the world. My team, being auto-drafted, is going to win the whole league. Suck it, human.
I'd like to say something.
He's got to get through me
Suck it,
first.
human.
then go.
Twist
Timmy
the end.
Booth's team wins the whole league at the end of this as auto-drafted team. I will take off all my clothes
No.
except for a green thong underwear to
Hear
keep from
that?
getting arrested
I don't
and
want
march
this.
up and down
Why's it gotta be green?
Front Street. Well, I don't know.
Where'd you go with green?
Luck of the Irish. Singing
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
all of my favorite.
Humming the 2001
Who did you tell me was going to be the
Space
singer at
Odyssey
the halftime show?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, all my favorite Lady Gaga songs.
thing.
With a big curly wig and a Dallas Star thong.
Dallas Star thong.
I'm throwing the fucking game.
All right.
I'm throwing
so
the game.
now here we find ourselves on December 11th, a day that will live in infamy. And you and Timmy Booth
Let me
are
just ask
both,
one quick
Please let me
question.
finish
No,
this.
one question. Is there tape of me somewhere saying that I'll do all that if he just makes the playoffs?
No, but
Okay,
I'm
well, so
just
what's the big
saying
deal?
it's because it would be one thing if he didn't even make the playoffs, but he has made the playoffs.
The chance of this
And
happening is legit.
The chance of this happening is now legit. That's all.
Especially now that I know and am reminded of this.
Yes.
and play him this
Now
week.
we could find you a very nice Dallas Cowboys song.
You think?
I think so.
I've
yes.
already ordered one and it's on the way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Drew. I appreciate that. You're a team player.
Let
So
me just say DallasCowboyThongs.com.
Okay. Well, if it's you
This
know
week's
what?
sponsor is Dallas Cowboys.
If it's not a real thing now, it will be later by later this week or later tonight. That would be amazing.
Now, do you want a Tony Romo personalized one, or do you just want a Dallas Cowboys?
I think a general Dallas Cowboys one, because your commitment to them is deep enough that you don't want your junk covered by like one particular player. You want all the Cowboys.
Do I
to
need
be-
to type in man?
I have
Man thong.
I have room for all the Cowboys to be on.
Oh, you think so too?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boom.
Boom chakalaka. Okay. What does it say, Drew?
Oh, it's good.
I would also like to point out that I listened to our Gary's Friend Alienation special
Right.
again, And also earlier in that same episode, you talked to Timmy Booth, and you said nobody's going undefeated.
Right.
But Conti never lost.
I'll
He
say-
tied.
Not yet.
Okay. But
Here we
you
go.
meant in regular. Oh, that's a nice one. That's nice. It's not too much.
It's like knit. You're not gonna get chafed or anything.
Yeah, it's not too. It's like stars and it says Cowboys.
Listen, find the best one you can. I can afford it because DallasCowboysThong.com is paying me a lot of money to paint that on my butt while I wear the thong.
Well, guess who's going to be the sponsor of our show instead of Pod Hive next week?
Can you get a henna tattoo on your ass? I guess you can.
Of course you
for
can.
sure.
This is America. Of course.
Oh, are you
can.
gonna do the 2 stars on the butt cheeks?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
No,
You know, I've been
one
wondering which
star,
tattoo I should get.
But in the middle,
Oh,
one big
starfish.
star crossing both
No, I
cheeks.
need one cheek for a picture of Roger Staubach.
Okay. All right. We're going to need to work. We're going to work on it.
Okay, we'll get
We'll
back.
get back to you.
And then we'll have Terrell Owens standing in the middle on his chocolate starfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Define art.
Okay.
Did y'all ever play our song or anything?
And we're going to anything else that was a surprise with the football games.
I was
last week?
actually
This week.
The
hanging in
Titans
there with
beat the
Conti.
Broncos.
Carolina. What's that?
Titans beat the Broncos. That's
Yeah.
a bit of an upset.
Let me just point out one more angle to that bet that you guys might not appreciate, which is that I'm playing Conti and Timmy Booth is playing Drew. So if we both won, we could play each other in the finals to determine that bet.
Yes, it
which
would be. It would
something.
be very dramatic.
Yeah.
If Conti agrees to it, I agree to
You
it.
know what? I would. Boy, that would be something.
Yeah.
That would be.
I
that
mean-
would be gold for this podcast.
My competitiveness.
we might finally get those downloads you've been after.
Right, Drew's gonna have to weigh the pros and cons of that.
No, I mean, I also value integrity of the game. So
Okay.
if they get there, they need to both earn
good.
it.
I agree.
getting there.
Say that because that way, when you cheat, people won't be suspicious.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys.
We'll
Can
talk
we
numbers
have
after.
Do you have Laura Cahoy's victory song?
It's right here.
Is it? So far, I don't like it.
This is it. I thought somebody left the fridge open.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like.
Uh,
Oh God.
Can this play while Gary's walking down the street in his
Yes,
Dallas
it
Cowboys song?
Listen.
no.
Work it. Own it.
My only request for that is that Lewis drive behind me in a pickup truck with a megaphone, pretending that he's doing the announcing for the strip club.
Could you do a little?
That makes it even worse.
Bringing it on for the Cowboys on Front Street tonight, everybody. It's
Bishop-
what's your name? It's
I don't know.
It's Harry Games.
Right. Yes.
Harry Games. That's your stripper name.
No, it's
Yeah.
got to be a Dallas Cowboys playoff.
Guys, give it up for Gary Player. He's coming on out here. He's walking up in front of Front Street Brewery.
And that's not a fur coat.
He can be Roger Staubach.
I like
All
it.
right. Next week we all come to the table with Gary's stripper names for when he loses.
All right.
Okay. And when Timmy Booth wins.
I'm
it's
just
really
warning you, I
good.
can't think of anything else but that now, so I'm
Yeah.
useless for the rest of the show.
Roger Starbuck. That was good, Drew. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Good job. Everyone's on their A game now. Okay. All right, guys. Well,
It was a song. It got me in the strip club.
it
mood.
did. It's really quite something. All right. Well, we're gonna call our
It's as if
it's
she
kind of
knew.
growing
It's
on
as
me.
if she knew.
It's kind of growing on me a little
Right,
bit
like
now.
a
I did
fungus.
not like the first part. Bum, 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 of the things, and the man said this. Bum, bum, bum. I never change, Gary. Okay. Okay. That's good. All right. Well, let's call our celebrity guest here, Mr. Sam Talent. He's waiting for our call, which is so unlike, things. Gary, will you hold this, please?
Hello.
Hello, is this Sam Talent?
Yes, it is.
Sam, this is Blair Postman from My Fantasy Wife podcast, and you're on the air. How are you?
Oh, I'm so great. Thank you for having me, Blair. Thanks for having me, everybody.
Oh, thanks. Hey, I'm going to read a quick bio of you for our listeners before we get going here, if that's all right.
Yeah, biographize me.
Yeah, it's going to make
Give me
It's
context.
going to make you feel good. You're known for your whip-quick wit which is not that easy to say, by the way, and rollicking improvisations. You are one of the sharpest, most original rising talents in comedy today. You've worked alongside many well-known comedians, including Hannibal Buress and T.J. Miller and lots of other people. You've performed at the Oddball Comedy Festival, High Plains Comedy Festival, Hell Yes Fest, the Chicago Comedy Expo, and the New York Film and Television Festival. You regularly headline at your hometown club, the legendary Denver Comedy Works, and were recently featured on the Denver episode of Viceland's Flophouse, as well as the Chris Gethard Show. And you're also the host of Half Hour Prophecy podcast. Everyone, big round of applause for Sam Talent.
Wow.
Hey, oh, it feels so sweet. Whoever wrote that was a liar and given to hyperbole.
Well, it is. It's officially.
You don't say.
It's officially on. Yes, it's officially on it's on official places. It's on very official places.
It's on the thing.
It's on the thing.
It's officially on official places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my website. I wrote it.
Yeah.
I'm the scandalous one.
Well, as I
No, yeah, all that stuff's true, and I'm glad to be here.
Motherfucker. Let me introduce you to who's in the room with us. We've got quite a crew here on this podcast. My husband in sports.
It sounds thick.
Yeah, it's thick. We got a deep bench. We have an ombudsman now. There's a lot going on. But Gary, my husband, Gary Hames, is our sports stat expert.
Hey, man.
Excellent.
So happy
Hey,
to
Gary.
meet you. I've never met a comedian whose last name is Talent. That's fantastic.
I know.
I changed my name to Gary Wellhung Cocksmith a few years ago for the same reason. So I get it, man. Good job.
Well, I'm glad the judge allowed it.
Right.
That's right,
About
Sam.
time we had a guy who represents our needs.
Right.
Right,
All
exactly. And also our social media maven, comedian Drew Harrison.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, nice.
And rounding things out is our comedian and sound engineer and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Hey, Louis, nice.
Yeah. Well, let's get started here with some stuff about you, because we always ask our comedian guests to let us know what they've ever been sort of obsessed with, vis-a-vis sports or things that they're currently kind of obsessed with. And you were all state and wrestling in high school. I think that was in Denver. Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah, that was in eastern Colorado. We were 3A, 4A in wrestling.
Wow.
We weren't like a huge mega school.
Uh-huh.
But I played football all growing up. I played all types of sports because my town was so small that you had to play sports or just
Right.
learn to cook meth and steal copper wire.
Sure. I mean,
So,
there are
yeah,
options.
There was a lot of options provided for those that were, ingenuitive enough to figure out what was at their disposal. But so I love sports a lot. I live and breathe the Denver Broncos, but I had to take a step back after that horrible Super Bowl loss that I watched with my father and all of my friends and family.
Which
that
one?
was just a bloodbath. Well, okay, very good.
Sam, just so you know, for the record,
I'm not an old withered man.
Right.
So I don't
Gary is. So
Right.
we remember a lot.
Gary, you old bag of bones. Let me walk you through the now. All right.
Yeah. I was alive in '87,
Yeah,
and
no,
that
it
was
was-
ugly.
I was born in '87, and that was ugly.
Fair
You
enough.
want to talk about bloodbath? They're still
Right.
stitching up my mom.
Wow.
No, but I love the Broncos. That Seattle loss, though, was so terrible and so rough. Just as any sports fan, any sports fan, that season was so miraculous, and Peyton was one last go. I do believe that our recent Super Bowl win was rigged by the NFL.
well, that's
But
the one that
other
hurt
than
me.
that, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I had
Drew.
to take a step back after last year.
Yeah, Drew is a big Carolina Panthers fan, and he insists
Mm-hmm.
on remaining one, despite everyone's talking to him.
It's been a tough year.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
I have a serious question. What's it like wrestling at altitude?
Oh, I was born in altitude, so
all right.
I just grew up, training in altitude, so it was fine. I didn't really take it any different. It gave us some advantage when we would go up to like Wyoming or Nebraska for wrestling camp.
Yeah,
well, right.
We just had more lungs than those kids did.
That was going to be my follow-up. Like, you hear about the Kenyans who run at altitude, and then they come to New York, and the first 100 to finish New York Marathon are all Kenyan because they've been training at altitude,
right.
and the rest of us can't compete with that. I would think in wrestling, you could join the WWE in Madison Square Garden, and you dominate all of those guys because you're training at altitude.
Well, I do.
Right?
That was an early goal of mine. I discovered stand-up comedy.
Right.
Because I was like, I'm huge and I can kind of talk. I have a bit of eloquence to what I can say. So, like, I would be great on the stick. I'd be great on the mic.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you get me in there, roll around with the fellas. No, yeah, I mean, people come to Colorado Springs to train, and I grew up about 40 minutes from Colorado Springs out in the Eastern Plains. I grew up at like 6,500 feet, so it's a definite advantage.
You mentioned something, and I was going to bring this up. You are a big guy. Like, you just a lot. I'm a very short person. You're a very tall person. You're there's a mass to you. You are a big, like, imposing figure for a comedian. I mean,
Well, thank you for dancing so gracefully around calling me a fat guy.
No,
I appreciate that.
That was the most PC way of calling someone a fat guy.
No, he's just an imposing figure.
You got some mass about you,
No, but he's just tall and
Laugh, you fucks!
Stop it. So he's like he's like a brick wall for a comic. But were you a big guy for like a football player in Colorado? Or a little guy?
Yeah, just you described me like you would describe a dying star. I like that. I was huge. I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, and they had me play at 325. So, yeah, I was big. I was recruited.
Good Lord.
I signed with CU Boulder, but then decided to go to Denver and do improv and do drugs instead.
Yeah.
I hated lifting weights. I hated working out. Like, that was the bane of my high school existence. So
I
got away from it, flipped into the bong.
Yeah, that seems like, and it seems like there's only going to be more working out, like if you go to college to play football or what have you.
Oh yeah, it's even worse. And like also, I think that I was an offensive lineman. I was the right tackle for a left-handed quarterback, so I was like the blind side, but exceedingly white.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I know that one.
I also it taught me how to like be a part of a team. So I think it made me a good host because I'm okay going up there and taking the bullet without any glory. Because that's all I did for all of my career.
Right. And I was going to ask you what position you played, and I saw Blindside a couple of times. So now I have an idea of what you did. Yeah, you were saying that you really enjoy all manner of competition, and, it's hard to improv as a team sport makes a lot of sense. Stand-up.
You're only as good as your weakest performer in improv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you really got to pull that guy across the goal line
yes.
if he's not good.
Yes. But in stand-up, it's not often seen that way. But I tend to agree with you. It's if you are crapping all over the room, or if somebody's doing that to you and they're screwing up the vibe for everybody else who comes after, I mean, that's an element, I suppose, that's more teamwork than competition. Is there anything else?
Well, I mean, if I'm featuring for someone, I'm trying to bury them. Like, I'm trying to smoke the stage, So
right.
I still think that it's very individualistic. But as far as the show is concerned, the show is a team effort. That 90-minute show, MC feature headliner. So, yeah, I totally agree with you.
So what about you recently, and correct me if I got this wrong, you recently moved from Denver to Las Vegas. You've got I think I saw in one of your clips you got a 303 tattoo. I mean, so you're a hardcore Denver guy, but you've recently made a move, and that move was to Vegas. Why Vegas?
Very good question. The only reason I moved here was for the only reason you should do anything, which is for love.
Okay.
And I followed
Lots of
my wife
and
here.
hookers.
There are, and I'm in love with the tables, baby. The Phil's my number one.
That's right. But your wife got a job
No, my
there?
wife got into school here.
Oh! Pardon? What is she studying?
Yeah. My wife's in medical school. She's going to be a doctor in about 4 years.
Good job. Yes, good job.
Medical school in Las Vegas?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just
never heard of it.
You always think of UNLV just has like that restaurant and gaming
gambling
school.
Courses and basketball.
Right.
You're gonna need doctors for the city of sin.
You're gonna need we're gonna need a lot of doctors, but she's not required to practice there. But actually, it's just interesting because it's not that far to LA.
Somebody's got to give all those penicillin shots.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, she's in her first year, so she's just like learning the ligature and the anatomy of dead people.
Wow.
And there's
I
so
learned that
many
years ago.
drifters here.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many hobos here. So
Right.
she has a fresh body to practice on every week.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is that's a good reason, and that works out well for you. And you're a smart guy. I know you're always talking about books and other things that you're reading and writing on social media, and so you were also smart enough to marry a smart woman. So good for you. That was just my little editorial piece. Yeah, exactly.
Girl power.
Yes, exactly, girl power. So because we always try to think of something, a very silly game to play and make up somehow associated with our guest. And because you are now in Las Vegas and you are going to be there when the new NHL team opens or starts. I don't know that much about sports.
Drops the puck for the first time.
Yes, exactly. And possibly
go.
there's a lot of talk about maybe the Raiders or an expansion NFL team going to Las Vegas. And there's a bit of controversy about the name the NHL expansion team picked. I think it's the Golden Knights with a K.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's not that inspiring.
What an abomination.
Yeah, it's not that evocative. So what we've come up with is we like to do these brackets, okay? And so it's set up like a Sweet 16 bracket, NCAA bracket. And we've got 16 different suggestions of songs, and we've filled out our brackets.
Names.
We have names, and we have the names that we think are going to go all the way. And what you're going to do is be sort of, instead of playing a game, you're going to be the judge. You're going to get to decide which name moves on to the next round. And then we'll argue with each other about why whoever picked the right name is a genius or is a terrible person. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love being the arbiter. Please.
Yes, you're like,
Compel me.
you're God here. So we've each filled out a bracket.
Finally.
Yes, we've each filled out a bracket. And should I run through all of them first? Or should I just go? Let's just go.
I think you should just go as
Yeah.
Let's walk down the hill and run through all of them.
Yes, good job, Gary. All right, here we go. First matchup is the Vegas Aces or the Divorces. Which do you prefer, Aces or Divorces?
Oh, man. Well, when I'm going out to a national sporting event,
Right.
when I'm going out with the fellas or with the ladies and trying to have a good time, I don't want to remember Glenn.
Right.
I don't want to remember Whitney and what
Right.
she did in Dallas,
Right. Right.
So I'm just trying to have an $18 Coors Light
Right.
and see a couple people get their heads smashed.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with the Aces. I
gotta go
know
with
it's
the
a little
Aces.
hackier,
Good choice.
but
Good
I
choice.
assume there'll be better names out there, and I think that we can brand it and market it better than the Divorce.
Okay, fair enough. Next pair, Snake Eyes, Vegas Snake Eyes versus the
I like that.
Vegas Regrettables. Snake Eyes
Okay,
versus
well,
the
I see.
Regrettables.
Well, I think that any national sporting franchise in Vegas is going to be regrettable.
Right.
So I think that's two on the nose. I think they're going to get mired down in gambling and organized crime.
Okay. all
So
right.
I love Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay.
I love anything to do with.
There we go.
We've-
I love asps. I love slithering. I got to go with the Snake Eyes.
All right,
I would wear that hat proud.
And we've talked a lot about Jake the Snake on this show, as a matter of fact. That's why I know who that is. All right.
I'm
so-
sorry. Did he say he loved asps and slithering?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think,
I just
Yeah.
want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah. All right. Snake Eyes it is. All right, the next pair, Siberian Tigers versus the Villains.
Okay, well, the climate here is not suited for Siberian tigers
Well, I
or any
think-
kind of.
I think that's in reference to an unfortunate
The one that ate the.
magician.
Yeah.
Well, that's just bringing
Sure,
up bad
okay.
things about Vegas. That's fucked up.
Right, Blair.
Well, they're powerful. There's lots of tiger and cat named
Yeah, but
teams
isn't
out
what
there.
happens in Vegas supposed to stay in Vegas? We can't.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So that
let's
tiger ate a magician. Big.
All right. Let's see who.
let's
see who
wait.
picks-
Let's see
who
what
picks-
Sam says. Go ahead, Sam. Siberian Tigers or Villains?
Well, when the tiger did eat that magician, but that was just so he could get elected as governor. So
Okay.
remember that. The
All right.
tiger is the governor of the state of Nevada.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Siberian Tigers or the what was the other option?
Or the Villains.
Villains. I love villainry.
Yes.
I love I love kind of ne'er-do-wells and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And also that V
Yes.
V logo would be
Assonance.
it'd be great to to put that on a crest, so I got to go with the villains.
All
just
right.
because also I don't like the adjective Siberian.
Okay.
I think right now with what's going on with the whole
Right.
Russia CIA situation,
Yeah.
we got to distance ourselves from that.
They've
Be
already.
more of a team of everyone.
They've already.
Yeah, but what kind of logo could you make out of a Siberian tiger with the what's his face's dripping bloody head in his mouth? That'd be an awesome. You talk about something like crest on a jacket.
Yeah, that would. Well, it would be a.
Hey.
It would be a look.
Yeah.
Their minor league hockey team can have a Siberian Tiger Night or something like that.
first 500 fans get a Siberian tiger.
And villains does have that Vegas villains. It's nice alliteration there.
God has spoken.
All right, we're just agreeing
Why
with
do
God.
you keep going against God?
We're just agreeing with God.
It's been
He
going on
said
for
villains.
Okay, sorry.
Move on.
Okay, that's second God. Lewis is second God. So okay,
Yeah.
so we've got.
I'm your son, Jesus.
We've
Wow.
got. He's very sassy.
Lewis is Allah. I'm just Muhammad.
Oh,
I'm just the prophet. All right.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so next pair we've got dealers versus the escorts.
Wow.
Oh boy, fun, classic, age-old head-to-head rivals. on
Right.
the strip.
That battle plays out every night in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's there's a lot of 18-year-old Filipino kids who that is their daily life.
Right.
There you go.
Let's see. I gotta dealers. I gotta go dealers. I'm
Okay.
sorry because
No, you don't be sorry.
I love commerce.
No.
I love commerce, and they're not the escorts. They don't get taxed, and I don't think that's fair.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I guess you have to report things to get taxed. Anyway, okay. In our second half here, we've got, in the first pairing of our second half, we've got the Flamingos versus the Wise Guys.
Oh, Flamingos, hands down.
Dang.
The
Yeah.
Italian American communities had it hard enough.
Yeah, tell me
And that
about it.
flamingo pink,
Yeah.
pink and black and silver.
Oh.
Imagine the old LA Kings jerseys. Remember
Oh.
the silver and the black?
Yes.
Before the Raiders were cool.
But-
Yeah, man, that with some accents of high pink. Oh my God,
All
we're
right.
talking. We're making money.
You're a stylish guy. Yeah, the merch is fantastic. And speaking of who,
Well,
might,
it kind of it switches over genders too. You
Yep.
know, it switches over all types of barriers. High pink is a color of empathy and understanding. You know, it brings people together.
right? I agree. All right, next pair we've got the Bookies versus the Drunk Bachelorettes.
Ooh, can I swear? I'm sorry.
Yes, by all means, yes.
Okay, man. As a comedian, drunk bachelorettes can go and die in a terrible fire.
Right.
All right?
Right.
So, I don't want to give them any more attributed status than they already have.
Okay.
What would
That
people
makes
come
sense.
in? They would wear like dick balloon hats?
Yeah.
No
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
You could have put up the Las Vegas hate crime against the Bachelorettes, and hate crimes would have won.
Yo, we didn't. Wait a second. Who says we don't have the hate crimes? Just wait a second. We're not at the end.
Okay,
Fair
I'm
enough.
sorry. I saw the bracket ahead of time.
Right. So we're going with the Bookies on that one. The Bookies on that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Bookies.
All right. In our next pair,
Whatever it was.
we've got the Blackouts versus the Spades.
Oh no. Huh. Okay. Spades are great, but there's such an old, angry history with that word in certain parts of the country
You
that I wouldn't
know,
want to empower it.
there is. It's probably
Plus David Spade.
Yeah, exactly. And he
Also
gets
a
enough
concern.
shine here in Vegas.
Right.
He works enough out here.
right.
Yeah, no, I gotta. I mean, Spades is a better name, but I gotta go with Blackout. I gotta go with
I think that
Blackout.
works
I don't know why.
especially for a hockey team. Like they're gonna black out the other guys when they
Yeah, but
punch
the
them and
concussions
stuff.
and stuff. Come on now.
Oh,
Let's
nobody
ask him.
cares.
Yeah, but
It's Vegas.
so the amount of minority players in the NHL is almost 1%. So
Yeah.
it's tough.
All right, so let's try this last pairing of the initial round, and that is the Rat Packs versus the Strippers.
Ooh, tough there. Not a fan of either. Both these names are inferior compared
Okay.
to every other name we've had.
All right, fair enough.
But, Strippers is fun. And also, you could kind of have a double entendre,
Yes.
kind of tongue-in-cheek thing about the strip.
Yes, I think
Well, I gotta
that
go
was it.
strippers.
All
Well,
right.
Plus lap dance night.
Yep.
Well, I didn't get any of them on the second.
All
round,
right,
right?
all right, guys. We're going into the quarterfinals here, and we've got
Sweet
8.
Lou, do all of these decisions suit your needs so far?
So far, so good, I guess. You're doing fine. You're growing. You know, you're getting your legs about you. You're doing well.
I'm just a vessel, man.
I know. I know.
It's Lewis's world. We just live in it. We've got Aces versus Snake Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's tough.
Interesting, because two aces is Snake Eye.
Ah.
See how this breaks down? See how this is all coming together in my grand plan?
Wow, you are a very powerful man.
So I gotta go with my legless friends. I gotta go with the snake.
Eyes.
It's a better logo, really.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, you could have like red eyes and things. Yeah, it could be nice. All right, so we got.
And you can go so many different ways with it. You can be a cowboy. You can be a gambler. You can be a thief. You can be a bandolero. There's so many different options.
Yes, and that was like 5 of them right there.
Wow.
You know, we didn't have gamblers as an option. Anyway, you could have used that song.
The Las Vegas Little Joes from Kokomo's. That's what I would have.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got villains.
Craps term, honey.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say someone's got a secret.
Yeah, it's not a secret. We've been through hell. Okay, anyway, villains versus.
You like that?
Villains versus dealers. Lots of different kinds of
Villains
dealers.
versus a lot of dealers, and there's so many kinds of villains, and also Vegas has been a hub for, dark world dealings for so long. It's based on a history of organized crime and money washing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go with villains, because in the desert, villains are kings. It's the dominion of the bad boy.
All right. And on the other side here, we've got...
Dude, their stadium could be called The Lair. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
It's just an idea.
Oh, yeah. See?
Yep.
It's perfect.
It writes itself.
Could it be that death's head that rises up out of the lake with the Legion of Doom?
I think... Oh, yeah, sure.
That would be the stadium. Like every time they need it, it just comes up out of the thing.
Out of the desert.
And a big voice goes, "Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom."
Yeah.
And then we have the home game.
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Are you guys big? So you guys are big sports fans, like you said, right? I want to digress just for a second, if I may.
I'm not.
Gary,
yes.
Did you ever hear of or attend a basketball game at the University of New Mexico when it was the Pit?
Yeah, well, I've heard it. They had the sunken court or the elevated. It was either sunken or elevated court.
It was sunken, and you sat above it, like you were attending a Roman Coliseum. It was the greatest, man. We would drive down and see, Sean Bradley play and stuff, all the big names in the WAC back then.
Well, they always used to make the tournament. They used to make the tournament. Nobody would ever hear of them. And then I would see in Virginia, I would see them in the NCAA tournament, and they would have a home game or one of the regional games would be played there, even if it wasn't them. And that stadium looked evil.
So did people not sit on the floor, or no?
No, no one was on the floor. They played below you.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. You could throw chicken bones down at the court. It was great.
Perfect elevation for a sniper.
Stacy, yeah, and also they're another Mile High City. They also have huge elevation down there. I think Stacey Augmon was at the hands of those great teams.
Maybe
you were a big
Anyway,
basketball.
I'm sorry. The Pit ruled.
No.
Let's get back to the bracket.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Nobody loves a segue more than my husband, Gary Hames.
Stacey Augmon was a running rebel.
Was
yeah.
Stacey Augmon?
Well, he could have been at UNLV.
He was a running. He was on all those UNLV undefeated teams.
Yeah, he was a Larry Johnson.
Yes,
accolade.
right. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
See?
All right.
Learned.
No, that was good. I learned stuff.
Hold on, I have something I want to add in.
Yes, please.
Sam said Acolytes. You remember the tag team, the Acolytes?
Yeah, the Acolytes.
Yeah, you remember those? Remember those guys? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bradshaw and Simmons.
That's the only time I liked Bradshaw. Just saying.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
It was Bradshaw
and Ron Simmons
and Gary Simmons, Farouk, right?
Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons.
His brother Gary.
Damn.
Yeah, he used to work at the Pit.
Yeah. His brother Richard went a different way.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, what a great tag team. You know what, though? I will say that Bradshaw got away with a lot of lazy footwork when he was in the ring, and his finisher was a clothesline. So come on, Bradshaw.
Crap.
I thought that was pretty weak.
He called it a lariat.
My mother's finisher was a clothesline, and it was strong.
I thought he called it the clothesline from hell.
Well, it was a
clothesline from hell.
Right, but that's what JR called it, and it was a lariat that a lot of lazy guys like Bradshaw and what's the guy's name that was in the Four Horsemen that shouldn't have been in there?
Right, that guy.
Gosh, I can't.
Arn Anderson.
Pestilence?
No,
was it Pestilence?
Not Arn Anderson.
Or Death.
We're getting off topic.
Steve McMichael.
Arn Anderson is one of the greatest.
Pestilence
Had
doesn't
no
agree. No
business,
business being in there.
Yeah.
I don't like Arn Anderson.
Why don't you?
I'll go to the mat for that.
Hold on.
Foot
Why?
and mouth disease or death.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Why don't you like Arn Anderson?
Let's go back to the bracket.
Back to the bracket.
Well, Lewis has and Drew too.
Swedish bastard.
All the guys actually have a big
Arn
background
Anderson.
in professional wrestling. Gary's just happens to be
I'm
more
older.
70s, 80s kind of stuff. But they'll talk about it all.
You know why I don't like Arn Anderson? I'll tell you why. Because he wears trunks too high. You never knew if he was a live birth. You never saw his belly button.
That's because
It's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
That's
good
because
reason.
Arn Anderson
Excellent.
was such an excellent wrestler that you had that
Wrestler.
they had to make him in a lab. That's why.
Oh.
Of
Yeah.
course. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yep.
He
Now,
was
do you mean-
actually Arn Anderson prototype 3. I forgot.
Right. All right. Are you guys good?
Yeah,
think
we're good.
No, well,
Well, could you,
I mean, we can keep going, but we got to go to this bracket.
all right. Well, don't let me be the wet
Well, did we get an
blanket.
answer? What was the answer?
Well, I didn't
What are we
get
even
to-
doing?
I
think we all agreed that Farouk's finisher was killer. That open
Yeah,
face
yeah.
power bomb,
Right.
the Dominator, that was a great finisher.
All right.
We all agreed.
All right, we're going to the second half of the quarterfinals here
All right.
on the bracket. Meanwhile, back at the bracket, we've got Flamingos versus Bookies.
Well, I mean, I think that I might have a favorite already
Yes.
throughout this entire bracket, and I gotta go to my avian friend,
Yes.
the Flamingos, yet again. It's a terrible hotel. They have bad comedy shows there. Namely, they won't book me. That's
Yes.
my big issue with them.
Right.
But yeah, I got to go with the Flamingos, man. I love
spite
the
of all
Florida
that.
coast.
I thought everybody was aware that it was a name of an ornithological nature.
Brian, no. It just so happens that we have been replaying 5 or 6 times a clip from Family Guy when he does the bird throughout the whole thing. And and you walked right into it. It's not like we made you do it.
Yes.
It'll make more sense, when you listen to the episode. Okay. All right.
It's
next.
like this is all part of someone's plan.
Right.
Like Lewis's plan.
By the way, I was talking about Barry Windham.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Barry Windham did the lariat.
You don't like Barry Windham?
No.
No, he's a smart guy, though. He took
Yeah,
his,
no, I
took his
don't-
money
I
and
don't
started
like
that
him
chain
either.
of hotels.
Well, it's something we can agree on.
No.
Something we agree on.
Okay.
Lewis's
Yeah,
face
no,
is,
Barry
Lewis's
Windham
face is
was
getting a little red.
terrible.
What's that, Sam?
Barry Windham was terrible. We all
Yeah.
agree on that.
We all
Right.
agree.
Okay. All right. The Blackouts versus the Strippers.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, my working ladies, you got to take a step back, go pick up your kids from night kindergarten or wherever they go to school because you're a stripper. I got to go with the Blackout. I like what it does, and I like the idea of a black on black uniform. I like something like a pallbearer would wear.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got.
And also that sets us up, unless I'm crazy, for the Flamingos versus the Blackouts in the quarter semifinal.
Yes. What we have now is we've got Snake Eyes versus Villains. We've got Flamingos versus Blackouts. So first up, Snake Eyes versus Villains.
Now, say the whole name. Say it with the Las Vegas. in front of
Okay.
it.
It's the Las Vegas Snake Eyes or the Vegas Villains.
Okay. This is so tough. It's so tough. to tell the
Nah,
Wizards
this one's
eyes.
easy. It's easy.
I think it's tough.
I think it's easy.
It is easy, and
See?
okay. So as the reasons I listed earlier,
Yes.
okay, I like the idea that I like the villains. I like what they offer. I like the alliteration. I think that's clever. But I think the Las Vegas Snake Eyes sounds more compelling to me as a team owner, as a fan of the great sport of hockey. I think we're going to move more seats, and also I like the idea that the Snake Eyes could be a paradise. It could be a train robber. It could be, some kind of night sex criminal. The logo could be so many things.
It can evolve over time.
The only thing that concerns me, you know how Detroit used to throw all the octopuses on the ice before?
Yes.
You don't think they'd start actually bombarding that? Because hockey
With
fans
cobras?
are crazy. Well, the eyes of a snake eyes.
Yeah, no, I think that would happen.
That would be horrible.
They probably have a lot of exotic. animal dealers there.
I think you're overestimating the availability of snake eyes to the general populace.
I guess. I don't see a lot of octopi just laying around
Maybe
either.
they're just rubber snakes or something.
Maybe. Oh, that'd be fine.
Well, you know what? Then if that happens, we're going out west and we're opening up an exotic animal thing.
So they could cut the eyes out themselves?
Yes,
yeah,
right.
No, I figured.
Yeah, because you can sell them cheaper then.
No, I was just thinking they throw the whole snake.
Okay, well, whatever.
I think you.
All right.
I'm
not going to worry about that because it's not going to win.
Snake
anyway.
Eyes makes it to the finals.
We're gonna, Snake Eyes. Sorry, Drew. Drew had villains going all the way. All right, now we've got the Flamingos.
Villains is great. If it didn't go up against Snake Eyes, it would have had a chance.
Yeah. It's Flamingos versus the Blackouts.
Man, this is so tough. Not really at all,
No.
actually. Flamingos, come on.
Right.
I love it. It's fancy. It goes against type. There's not any flamingos here in the desert. There's no water. They're a coral nesting, anal-loving bird.
They would die there.
So, yeah, we gotta...
we can throw them on the ice.
It's like my comedy.
Right.
Okay. You should see my act.
Oh, okay. All right. This is it.
Thousands of flamingos cascading down to the ice.
Okay.
Brittle legs snapping at every
Now would it be the Vegas Flamingos or the Las Vegas Flamingos?
The Las Vegas Flamingos.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's in the
100%.
details. You gotta.
Yeah.
All right, we've got.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Imagine
Las Vegas
the-
Flamingos.
Gary, why don't you do the?
Yeah, imagine the branding. You could have like a Hollister type, sunset colors. It's just a whole pastel,
tacky
vivid pastiche. It'd be great.
Every freaking yard flamingo in every trailer park in America would have a little LV logo on the breast.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The merch.
Now we're talking.
All right,
you give those away. You give them away to the first 1,000 people.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Okay, Gary, you have a very nice radio announcer voice. Would you please do the honors of doing the Snake Eyes and then the Flamingos in the way you imagine it being said over the...
Ladies and gentlemen, your Las Vegas Flamingos.
Okay, now do it just...
I know, but that's my favorite.
Yes, okay, but do it nice then for the other one too. So
what's the
fair.
other one?
Snake Eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Las Vegas Snake Eyes.
What do you think?
Yeah, come on.
Snake Eyes is so good. Snake Eyes really speaks to the core of everything here, Snake Eyes. It feels like it's biting you.
And just have a black jersey with two eyes. That's it. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yes, 100%. You're great. But we got to give it to the Flamingos. Come on.
I have Flamingos going all the way, bitches. Look at that. Woohoo!
Wow.
Flamingos is so good. It's so playful. It's so fun. And also it speaks to the retirement communities in Florida. We get them coming in, spending all that old money.
Right. Nice.
And you do what the Pelicans did. You get a muscle flamingo.
Yeah. Something like that.
They had to get rid of him.
No, I want an Art Deco simplified, stripped down flamingo. More like a pink hook.
Yes.
More than anything else.
Right. Okay. And so, who did you have going all the way there, Lewis?
Oh, I had the bookies, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Gary?
Flamingos.
Oh, we both had the Flamingos.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, fun for us. We're a fun couple.
I believe I had the
fun
Flamingos
things.
versus the Snake Eyes, if I'm remembering
Oh,
correctly.
I did not. I can't remember.
Wow.
I had the villain.
Does Sam have anything coming
Hey,
up?
thank you guys. This is so much fun.
Hey, do you have anything coming up or online or shows or anything like that? Anything you like to plug? Album? Just, stuff you like?
I don't even know. I just filmed for Comedy Central's Roast Battle, the Road to Roast Battle. So hopefully I don't get edited out of that because I won my battle and I had really good jokes.
Well, that's
so
fantastic.
look for me on that. I think January 17th, and we can watch it together and either celebrate or be very dejected and broken.
We're not going to get edited out of this podcast, Sam,
probably.
Because you are a wonderful human being and hilarious, and not that that's a surprise. Everyone, big round of applause for Sam.
Yay.
Thank you so much, man. We had such a good time.
Thank you. You know what? I imagine more people listen to your podcast than actually watch Comedy Central, so I'm glad to be on this more than anything else.
From your lips to God's ears, Sam.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
Okay.
Godspeed. Have a lovely new year.
Okay, bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Oh,
That was good.
He's fantastic. All right, that's going to wrap us up for this week, listeners. Thanks to our contributor, Joe Perot, and our ombudsman, Wills Maxwell. To download all the episodes we put out every week, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and all that jazz. Thank you, Mr. Bissett, for sending us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.